Everyone riding the Vintage Viking. I got some awesome stuff for you today. I have a Kristopher Triana unboxing portion of this video, a book haul, and a bunch of stuff that came in on eBay that I'm super excited to show you guys. So let's get to it. All right, first up, I'm going to show you guys what I got from the thrift stores and, bookstore, used bookstore, stuff like that real quick. Then I'm going to do the Kristopher Triana unboxing portion, and then I will show you what came in on eBay. So let's check it out. Here's what I picked up at the thrift store, either for resale purposes or for my own collection, but I think most of these are for resale. We'll take a look, or just for whatnot, things like that. I got Kristopher. I'm stuck on the Kristopher Triana thing, I guess. I got Robert Heinlein's Stranger in a Strange Land, and this is like a big fat trade paperback size, which I'd never seen before. I have been wanting to read this one, so I may hang on to this one because I kind of like reading in these bigger ones. I'm getting older. My eyes don't work so well. So having larger print and bigger spacing between the text actually helps me to read quite a bit more. So I might hang on to that one. I also picked up Coraline by Neil Gaiman. This is just one that I've heard a few things about throughout, BookTube and stuff like that. It's really the first time I've ever kind of noticed it or found it. So I went ahead and grabbed it, and I will probably read through this one and add that to my TBR. All right, next up I picked up Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, and this is hardcover. It's based on the video game, so I don't know if it has any value to it or not. It just looked pretty cool, so I went ahead and grabbed it. Either I'll read it at some point or someone will want it on whatnot, not sure. I also picked up this next one, Joe Nesbo, The Kingdom, and you can see right there, what does that say, $3.99? Gosh. I think it's $3.99. Yeah, $3.99 at Goodwill. So I picked this one up. I don't know anything about it, but when I grabbed it, it said signed first edition on the cover. So, lucky me, I got a Joe Nesbo signed first edition hardcover of The Kingdom. And I've been wanting to get into reading Joe Nesbo. I've been kind of on a signed book kick lately, trying to find, sorting through my books, because I have stacks and stacks and stacks that I've never actually looked through. And occasionally on whatnot, I would pop open a book and it'd be signed, and I'd be like, oh, dang, I should have looked earlier. I got to keep this one. And so I'm trying to do that ahead of time and go through all my stuff and see what I have signed. And I have quite a few signed copies now. But anyways, I have been wanting to get into Joe Nesbo. I have the whole Detective Harry Hole series that he has. I've heard great things about Nesbo, that he's actually quite a good writer and that his books are entertaining and enjoyable. I'm definitely going to be hanging on to this one for myself. This one's going in my collection. I also picked up this one by Margaret Atwood. I have not read anything by Atwood yet. This is The Testaments. I grabbed this one because it's large print, and usually large print books, if you're reselling, large print books tend to go for more on eBay and other places. So they just have more of a value to them. They cost more originally when you buy them. So I just kind of pick them up whenever I see them, regardless of the author or things like that. I'll usually grab them, and they'll sell for at least a few bucks more than I bought them for. So I went ahead and picked up this one, Midnight Graffiti. This is a super freaking cool book. Look at that. It has Stephen King, Harlan Ellison, Dan Simmons, David Show, I'm not familiar with, Nancy Collins. And I was so hoping I would crack it open. There'd be a Stephen King signature or something there, but not today. That's my goal someday, is to go to a thrift store, find a Stephen King book, and have it have a signature in it. And I will probably pay for it and then run out of the store screaming, jumping up and down. So I'm very excited for this one. If I ever do that, you guys will be the first to know. So there's a section in here called It Came From Beyond. Contains Rainy Season by Stephen King. There's another one by Michael Straczynski, Gil Lamet, I'm not familiar with those names, Stephen Boyette, Cliff Burns, David Show, John Shirley, familiar with at least, Rex Miller, which is awesome, Joe Lansdale, Lawrence Person, Nancy Collins, K.W. Jeter, Phil Tiso, R.V. Branham, and Neil Gaiman, R.V. Branham again, Harlan Ellison, which is, his story is Where I Shall Dwell in the Next World, and Dan Simmons, and his story is The River Styx Runs Upstream, and then James Van Hise. This is a cool collection, and definitely one that I don't have, and I don't think I have, at least. Maybe I have this in paperback somewhere, but definitely not in hardcover, and I'm stoked for that one. All right, another one I picked up was Craig Johnson's Depth of Winter. I really, really enjoyed the Longmire series on TV. I watched the whole thing. I thought it was very well done, even though Katie Sackhoff is not the best actress. It was still a good show, and so it made me intrigued to read all of these books at some point, and I've been kind of finding them slowly. I don't know which ones I have or how many I have, or if I happen to have all the series, I don't know. So I have a bunch of them up there on my shelf. I also have the Raylan Givens one, which is where the Justified TV show comes from, that I want to read, and then I have all the Dexter ones from the Dexter TV show. So I have a bunch of TV show books that I'm like wanting to get to at some point. I may have to purposefully put next year on my TBR like a TV show book per month or something like that, kind of like I've been doing with the Stephen Kings, just so I force myself to get to them. So I may do that, something like that. Maybe I'll show you guys all my TV show tie-in movie adaptation books at some point too, because I have a ton of those. All right, I also picked up this one by Bentley Little, and I grabbed it because it was hardcover to start with. And then it said the collection, so I don't know if this is a collection of short stories. I haven't even cracked these open yet or looked. So I have not read Bentley Little yet, and I have a ton of Bentley Little stuff. Yeah, it looks like a bunch of short stories. So that's kind of a cool place to start when you haven't read somebody or know anything about them. Sometimes it's fun to read some shorts and get to know them a little bit. Pretty excited for that. I've actually been reading a fair amount of short story collections lately, so I'm kind of on a little short story kick. All right, I also picked up, and I picked this up before I actually had read this book, the first book, but I picked up Ender's Shadow by Orson Scott Card. I already have them, but this one was, I already have like the paperback size, but this one was, kind of a trade paperback size, a little bigger. And then I read Ender's Game this past month, and so now I haven't put out the video of my reviews for any of that stuff, but I'm definitely going to keep reading in the series, I'll tell you that. And so I'm pretty sure this is like a side-by-side novel. I think this is the one, if I'm remembering correctly. So in Ender's Game, there's one of the characters' name's Beans, and I think this is Beans' story. And it's like set at the same time as Ender's Game is going on, if I'm correct. Not 100%, but I think that's how it goes, and I'm pretty stoked to continue reading. I also picked up God Emperor of Dune by Frank Herbert. This one's just for resale. I don't really have... I have a desire to read the first one, Dune. Literally, if you go... Like, I've been doing these searches for YouTube Shorts, and I've been going through, like, top 10 videos, top 5 books of all time, top 100 books, top, whatever, all these top books, compilations, lists, everything I'm trying to put together, kind of information for myself, and then I want to do something with that later. But I would say 90% of the time on top 5 or top 10 videos of science fiction novels, Dune is at the top, or at least in the top 3. Like almost always Ender Game's up there. So Dune, Ender's Game, Neuromancer. Let's see what else. Those 3 are like almost always there. What are the other two? Foundation, Asimov's Foundation series. That one's up there a ton. Hyperion. So, like, if I was compiling a list and I just wanted to be like everybody else, I'd just throw those top 5. I would say, here's top 5 sci-fi books of all time. Blast them up there. Everybody would be like, yeah. Almost always every video I find has those top 5. It's crazy. And then I'll find a random video of like a top 5, and it's like not a single book on the top 5 I've ever heard of ever. And it's like, that's interesting. So anyways, I do have that was a weird rabbit trail. I do have a desire to read Dune at some point, because if it is in the top 5 and it is that good and it's one of the best science fiction books of all time, I want to read it. Even though I've kind of like, I don't think I'm going to like it. I don't know. I just have that feeling I'm not going to like it. I don't know why, really. So I don't really intend to read all of them. I think I'm going to read Dune, and I'm not really going to enjoy it, and I'm not going to want to pick up the rest. That's why I've been putting it off for a long time. Anyways, this is for resale and whatnot. Okay, thanks. Moving on. I got Gene Wolfe's Soldier of Arete. I don't know how you say it. Arete. Soldier of Arete. I think I have this one in hardcover somewhere, so I will probably pass this one along. All right, I also picked up Hyperion just because I always grab this one if I see it, because someone's going to want it. Once again, another one of the top 10, top 5 of all time on pretty much everybody's list. I did really enjoy Hyperion. I thought it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It stuck with me more the longer it's been, the more it's held its position, if that makes sense. Sometimes you read something, you're like, I really liked it, but it just kind of falls away or goes to the wayside. And then sometimes you read something and it doesn't stick with you, like it has to linger for a while, if you get what I'm saying, you know? Like, and Hyperion's lingered. So, it's not my favorite book of all time, but it's a good book. I picked up this one, Conan the Barbarian. Speaking of movie book tie-in thingies, this has photos in it. So if you want to see what's his face in picture form, you know, Mr. Momoa in there and some other ones. I didn't hate this movie. It definitely is. It wasn't Arnold. You know what I mean? You know. But it was just a fun adventure movie. It wasn't like anything special. It was definitely forgettable and you know, not in the canon of greatest movies of all time. But hey, I bet the book's a little fun to read. Another author I've been wanting to read, Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. Ursula K. Le Guin's Left Hand of Darkness is constantly at the top of lists, along with Dispossessed. Both of those I need to read. Dispossessed I think I'm going to read this month. Those are, you know, necessities, and I haven't read them yet, and they top the charts all the time, so I should read them. That's it from the thrift stores. I'm just going to interject this real quick because my book's sitting right here. This one I picked up a couple weeks ago. I've been looking for this forever, and I finally found it at a thrift store. I think I paid $8 for it or something. I think it says inside. Yeah, $8. $8. So more than I would normally pay for a book, but I've been dying to read this one, and I'm already like, I just started it yesterday, so if that's any indication, the book is seriously one of the best books I've ever read so far. I mean, it may totally bomb at the end, but I got maybe, I don't know, a third of it left or something. I don't know. I'll probably finish it tonight. I'm speechless. Like, the book is so good. If you haven't read it, you need to read it. It's hard. It's a hard read, like difficult to read because of the content. But it is. unbelievably captivating. So easily one of the best books I read this year so far. It's not over yet. Just throwing that out there. Oh, it's time. You waited a long time for this. You guys have been waiting for a long time for this moment right here. It has finally come. Are you ready? It is time for the Kristopher Triana unboxing, and I'm going to try not to ruffle the bag as much as I can because it will pick up in the mic so loud. But check this out. Look at this. I'm going to try and get as much of the cover on there as I can. I'll slowly pan. This is the bag that the box of all the stuff I ordered came in. There's a big box inside of a bunch of stuff. I mean, that right there alone is just amazing. I don't even want to. I don't even want to open the bag because I don't want to ruin it. But I'm gonna do it. All right, let's unbox this bad boy. All right, here we go. Are you ready? All right, before we get to the books, I will go ahead and open this little package that's in here. But the reason I got this Kristopher Triana bundle is I had seen a few different people talk about this book, Gone to See the Riverman. And I think I heard about it first, I think, from my buddy Cliff over at Cliff's Dark Gems, which I highly recommend you go check out. Support him. His channel is growing. He's all into horror and reads a ton also, and just he's great at sharing all about his experience reading the book. He's got some great insight into things, so I highly recommend you check him out, and make sure you like and subscribe like every video he's got, okay? And just support that guy. He's awesome. I also heard about Gone to See the Riverman from Anda Kent over at her channel, and she has awesome stuff as well. She reads a ton of extreme horror, a ton of just a lot of different stuff that I actually find myself enjoying the same kind of stuff that she enjoys. She enjoys sci-fi as well as horror, extreme horror, and so pretty much every review and all those other things about the books that she's read, I'm like, dang, I'm in the same boat. I love that stuff too. So go check out Anda. Make sure you like, sub. It's a little bit bigger channel, so but still could always use the love and support of everybody on BookTube. So highly recommend. I know there's several other people that I've heard about Kristopher Triana from and have read. I think Gone to See the Riverman's kind of the most popular one that I see pop up a lot, and I would love to go through and find a bunch of people and tag their videos for you. I'm excited to read it, and those videos made me excited about reading it, and so I think it'd be awesome for everybody to support them. So I'm all about that, support one another kind of thing. So so here, first off, here's the bag that some stuff came in. Check this out. It's like a bloody handprint on a bag. It's a pretty cool bag. I don't know where you find those at, but a little thank you sticker on it for supporting my business, and there's a bunch of goodies inside. So yeah, where are those bags at? That's cool. All right, so a little rubbery skeleton dude. It's like a stretchy, sticky thing, looks like. I'm not gonna open that up yet. Keychain, Gone to See the Riverman. So there it is, that book. And then on the other side, along the River of Flesh, which I believe is the sequel to that one. And so I'm probably gonna start with that one, and because I have more than one. I have more than just those two books in here. I'm probably going to start though with Gone to See the Riverman because that's the one I've been kind of hearing the most about, and then definitely read the sequel. This is it says full brutal. So there's a full brutal pin, which is another part of the book series, I believe. And then this one says read Kristopher Triana on it, and this one says Gone to See the Riverman. These pins. That's pretty dope. Oh, this is a kind of cool one. Read Kristopher Triana pin, another one. And then magnet. I thought it was a sticker, but it's a magnet. So that's cool. I like that. So I'm not sure where I'm going to put all these things, but stickers I like. I just kind of throw on my computer and stuff like that. So, but we'll see where those go. So that's pretty awesome. All right, let's get to the books. Here is the first two, probably the two that go together. Some bubble wrap. Oh, and they're hardcover. I didn't realize they were hardcover. Ooh. Ooh, baby. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so first one. Gone to See the Riverman, hardcover. Kristopher Triana. Has a very, almost like a rubbery feel to it. Kind of neat. And let's see here. Has a sticker inside and sign, baby. Sign one, baby. That is a fatty sticker. It's like Hardy. Pretty sure it's a sticker, but another Gone to See the Riverman sticker right there. So stoked for this one. And then Along the River of Flesh, the sequel to Gone to See the Riverman right here. Another beautiful, beautiful book. Has a sticker inside as well. Read Kristopher Triana sticker. There's that cover art of the bag. And signed again. I'm pretty happy with those. All right, and then I got a couple more bundles here. All right. So next up we got, oh my. Here's Full Brutal. That is another one I've heard about a little bit about. Not as much as Gone to See the Riverman. This is a Splatterpunk award-winning novel. And this one's probably got stickers inside. Yep, here we go. Ooh, a bookmark. Nice. Okay. Looks like it says the 13th Coyote, Blood Relations, Gone to See the Riverman, Full Brutal, and Toxic Love. A series of different books there. On the back is Read Kristopher Triana, little QR code. Here, if I put it there, can you guys scan it to go to his... Can you do that to go to his website? There you go. And then a Full Brutal sticker there of the cheerleader. That's pretty dope. So Full Brutal. And I don't think this one's part of a series. I think it's by itself. I got scared for a second because on this page I can see it indented and drawn in there, and it looked like he did it with this pen, but a pen ran out of ink. But it's on the page before it. All right, next one. Ex-Boogeyman. He's not Freddy. He's not Jason. He's all washed up. That looks cool. What a cool freaking cover. Signed again, baby. Oh, that is a dope sticker. Oh, this one has to do with... I think I remember reading the trailer for this one. So it has... so that's like Nightmare on Elm Street stuff. Or Friday the 13th, sorry. Nightmare on Elm Street stuff. It... And then the obituaries. Oh, that's cool. It looks like a bookstore. Obitshorror.com. I will need to go there, but there's a QR code for that one as well. It says Aaron Bargard, Kristopher Triana, Daniel Velope. So some more stickers and a bookmark. And here's Ex-Boogeyman. So... This is Kristopher Triana's latest is a chilling, convincing portrait of an aged horror icon. Should I read all these? Should I read the back of all these? I probably should, huh? I probably should have done a video just for this, right? Yeah. Okay. Kristopher Triana's latest is a chilling, convincing portrait of an aged horror icon driven to the brink of madness as he fights tooth and nail against the inexorable slide into irrelevance, loaded with fun references to the glory days of the slasher genre. Ex-Boogeyman is a bloody and thrilling feast for horror fans. I'm stoked for this one. Here's the synopsis. As Nikki Hector, the unstoppable slasher from the lunatic horror movie franchise, as Nikki Hector, the unstoppable slasher from the lunatic horror movie franchise, Jonathan Zane reached levels of fame once imagined to a young actor. On top of headlining 15 films, he appeared on MTV. MTV, in case you didn't know, was this old thing that was on TV. It was like a TV show channel, one that you had to tune into and turn your dial to get there, or use the remote. Had commercials and stuff. So MTV, and he had his own 976 number back in the days when you would call actual phone number or whatever, and became one of the most recognizable faces of the 1980s. But that was 30 years ago. So now it's 2010, and Zane is a has-been celebrity making his living signing autographs at fan conventions. He's a relic of the bygone slasher movie boom. He's broke, separated from his wife and children, and lives in a crummy apartment, and hasn't landed a role in years. When he learns that the studio is remaking Lunatic, he thinks it's his chance for a comeback. But Red Max Studios isn't interested in resurrecting Zane's fame. They want the reboot to have a new face, to escape the campiness that plagued the latter films in the Lunatic series. For the studio, this is a brand new start. But for Jonathan Zane, it's the last straw. Discovering the remake is being filmed at the same rafting center as the original, and his former Final Girl co-star Lola Lang is involved, Zane begins a descent into insanity. He slips into his old costume, sharpens his meat cleaver, and brings the Nikki Hector character back from the dead for one last bloodbath. That sounds good. Should I read the other ones? Should I read the backs of the other ones, and I'll get to that, the remaining books in here? Let's do it. Okay, Full Brutal. Splatterpunk award-winning novel. Kim White is a very popular cheerleader. She's pretty, healthy, comes from a well-off family. She has everything a girl of 16 is supposed to want. And she's sick to death of it. In search of something to pull her out of her suicidal thoughts, she begrudgingly decides to lose her virginity. Having heard it's a life-changing event, but Kim doesn't want to do it the same way her peers do. She seduces one of her teachers, hoping to ruin his life just for the fun of it. This starts Kim on a runaway train of sadism as she makes every effort to destroy the lives of those around her. But soon, simple backstabbing is not enough to keep her excited, and she nosedives into sabotage, violence, and even murder. When Kim finds out she's pregnant with her teacher's child, a new madness overtakes her, and she realizes there's only one thing that will satisfy her baby's hunger. Interesting. All right, here's the Gone to See the Riverman. Superfans, groupies, stalkers. These people will give anything for the idols they worship, be they rock stars, actors, or authors, or even serial killers. Laurie's obsession is with Edmund Cox, who is convicted of butchering more than 20 women. She will do anything to get close to him, so when he gives her a task, she accepts. She has no idea of the horror that awaits her. Edmund says she must go to his cabin in the woods and retrieve a key to deliver to a mysterious figure known only as the Riverman. She brings along her sister, and the trip becomes a surreal nightmare, one that digs up Laurie's personal demons, the ones that she feels bonds her to Edmund. Soon she will learn the Riverman is not quite fact or folklore, and definitely not human. Well, at least not anymore. Sounds awesome. All right. Along the River of Flesh. Oh, I probably shouldn't read it because it's going to ruin the first one. Okay, I'm not going to read that one. Sorry. I don't want to spoil the first one. Because I haven't read the first one yet. So, sorry. Can't read it. Not going to do it. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture. Okay. I kind of just went off on these ones. All right. Kristopher Triana, A Cold Place for Dying. Ooh, that's cool. Another one of these, but this one is That Night in the Woods. Same QR code. Ooh, Kristopher Triana signed sticker. That's cool. Don't want to lose that one. All right, here is A Cold Place for Dying, Kristopher Triana. It's Christmas Eve. Guess when I'm reading this one? It's Christmas Eve. Having lost his wife, Joe Whitaker is spending the day hunting deer with bow and arrow. Wanting to free himself from the everyday world, he even leaves his phone in his truck. But his peace is soon interrupted by Nicole, a frantic woman running barefoot through the snow. She claims she was kidnapped and managed to escape, but now the man who imprisoned her is on her tail. Joe wants to help Nicole, but when he comes across the man pursuing her, he's told Nicole is, well, delusional. The man says he isn't Nicole's kidnapper, he's her husband. As a snowstorm bears down upon the mountain, Joe finds himself in a deadly triangle with a mysterious man and a panicked woman not knowing who to trust. If he makes the wrong choice, it just might cost him his life. Christmas read? I think so. Okay. Some more stickers. I got lots of Kristopher Triana stickers. And let's see here. Okay. Shepherd of the Black Sheep. Whatever style Triana is writing in, the voice matches it unfailingly. It's a safe bet we'll be seeing his name a lot in the years to come. Cemetery Dance. Here's this one. Vermont winters harden more than the land. After the untimely death of his daughter, rancher Tom Hargrave is given custody of his 10-year-old granddaughter, Paige. He desperately wants to be a good guardian, but the personal hardships just keep coming for him and the child. When an unknown assailant takes the life of Paige's best friend, the police are baffled and the small town of Middlebury grows fearful and suspicious. A murdered child, a missing murder weapon, a shattered community, family secrets, and second chances forge a twisted path through Kristopher Triana's latest dark thriller. That is Shepherd of the Black Sheep. And last one. And so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 signed books from Kristopher Triana. Yeah, buddy. This one is A Fine Evening in Hell. Signed. And this one says, on the verge of divorce, Heather needs some excitement in her life, but she's about to get more than she bargained for. On a date with a younger man, the two park at an abandoned warehouse for some intimate privacy. Unaware of the criminals using the dilapidated building as a hideout, Max and Bastian have just pulled a big heist, and now they're running from vengeful gangsters, dirty cops, and demented ex-cons. When things go wrong, the criminals take Heather hostage, and what began as a night of fun quickly becomes a nightmare as they force her to drive them across state lines. Heather will do anything to get home to her child, even if it means working with the men who abducted her. A Fine Evening in Hell is a taut, gripping thriller from Kristopher Triana, the award-winning author of Gone to See the Riverman and Shepherd of the Black Sheep. Stoked for all these, man. So stoked. So there's the unboxing. All of these are signed. I got some signed stickers, tons of bookmarks, keychains, everything. I'm stoked for that one. All right, and the final portion of this is what I got from eBay. Now I have a bunch of stuff here. First off, I got a couple signed photos. And I've been wanting some of these for a while. I'm trying to get a signed one of each of the cast members. First up, I have a signed copy from Jewel State. So Jewel State, right there. Plays Kaylee on Firefly. And this one is originally from Wizard World. And I'm stoked. So these are all going to go in some 8x10 frames. And I would eventually like to On the other side where you can't see, which I should do a room tour someday, I want to have them all hung up either up there or somewhere else where I can have all the Firefly stuff below it and have a little Firefly area. So this is growing over here. It's expanded down to here a little bit. It's starting to be everywhere, so I need to figure that out. Now, this one I'm pretty stoked for. So, Alan Tudyk, and the guy that I got this from, his name was Ryan, and I saw the pictures and everything of him getting it signed by Alan Tudyk, and so it says, Ryan, I'm a leaf on the wind, or leaf in the wind, on the wind, sorry, on the wind, and signed by Alan Tudyk, so I'm pretty stoked for that. Happened to be my name. That makes it even better. Maybe someday I'll be able to do that in person, but I doubt it, so the closest I can get, so I'm stoked for that. Now, this one's going to be a little glary because it's already in a frame. My man, right here. It is signed right there. Bruce Campbell. Ash Williams. Sorry for the fat glare. You can see the Pokemon that I got at the thrift store that are going to be on eBay or whatnot soon there. So, another one signed, Ash Williams. So, I don't want to set that on anything and break it. Okay. So, those 3 signed pictures came in. Those are for me. Those are not going anywhere else. And like I said, I want to eventually have all the Firefly cast signatures at some point. It's going to take a little time to do, but going for it. Speaking of signed things, I have a lot of signed stuff. I don't know why I've got so much signed stuff lately, but I do. This one's exciting. I did a little short video on this, so you might have seen it. It is an entire matching set from Arrow, right? Or is this Corgi? That's Corgi. Most of them are Arrow. So they're not matching. So there's a Corgi and the rest are Arrow. This is James Blish. Most of his like Earthmen Come Home, Case of Conscience, Life for the Stars, They Shall Have Stars, the City in Flight series, Seedling Stars, Clash of Symbols, and All the Stars of Stage. Super excited for those. They're all like the Euro covers, UK binding covers, and this is the big deal. Signed by James Blish, 1973. Best wishes, James Blish, 1973. I'm very excited for that. His signatures are pretty darn hard to find. So that one's staying in my collection. Obviously, I need to have a signed copy collection sent space somewhere that I can kind of set everything aside and keep them all nice. I also picked up the Astra by Jack Vance, and lo and behold, Jack Vance signed copy. So this is the final book of the Durdain trilogy. I have actually never seen this cover before, so not only is it a unique cover to me, but it's also signed, and that's pretty exciting. I have not read this series. This is first Ace print, 1978. So I'm not sure if I'll read this series anytime soon, but I do at least have the signed copy that's going to stay with me on my signed stuff. So I also got Thomas Dish's 102 H-Bombs, another book by him, not signed. I do have a couple signed Dishes, but this is not one of them. This is a short story collection. Very hard to see there what's in there, but the Demiurge is one of the more famous ones, and Utopia Never. So those are both contained in this one. If you're familiar with Dish at all, you probably have heard of those two. And so this is just one that I wanted to have because I'm trying to find and collect every Dish book that's out there as well. So that's on my list. Now, I had mentioned, I think at the beginning of the first portion of this Boookhaul-ish video, that I was going through different like top 10 lists and top 5 lists and things like that. But I was also going through horror lists of like the horror award winners. I think it's the Bram Stoker Award. There's also, I think it's the International Horror Award or something like that. There's a couple different ones, and they have the list of all the books that have won each year. And Concrete Grove by Gary McMahon, or McMahon, Gary M. Concrete Grove is the first part of a trilogy, and this one won one of the years on one of those lists. I don't remember which one it was right now off the top of my head, but I wanted to read every single one of those winners at some point. So I went ahead and grabbed this one. I have not picked up the second and third parts of the trilogy yet. This is, I believe, a zombie thriller horror, but it actually looks really awesome, and I'm pretty excited for it. So went ahead and picked that up. I don't know how I got pointed at Tim Curran. This is Tim Curran, Resurrection. I don't know where in the world this showed up on my radar. I don't remember at all. Somehow Tim Curran popped up on the radar. And so I went ahead and grabbed a couple of his books. I seriously cannot remember where I first heard about him or why I heard about him. So anyways, I thought, well, someone mentioned one of his books though, and I was like, ooh, that sounds freaking good. Dang, I can't remember. I really can't remember. If I can remember, I'll put it in the comments and I'll put their name, and I'm sorry that I couldn't remember off the top of my head. If I happen to remember where I saw it and who mentioned Tim Curran, I will try to at least give credit for that and point you guys to that video. But anyways, Tim Curran, I ordered this actually on Amazon, I believe, because I think it was cheaper on Amazon than it was on eBay. I did not realize that this was this fat. This thing's huge. I did not even remotely think this was going to be close to that. Usually horror books like this are like 150 pages or so, like they're tall, skinny books that are like, they're like that thick, so I'm kind of impressed, and I'm looking forward to seeing, I hope it's good, because I want to be like in it for a while. So, but you guys want to read the back? Let's read the back. The rain is falling and the dead are rising. It began at an ultra-secret government laboratory. So this already sounds freaking awesome. Experiments in limb regeneration, an unspeakable union of medieval alchemy and cutting-edge genetics, result in the very germ of horror itself. Huh. A horror germ. A gene trigger that will reanimate dead tissue, any dead tissue. Whoa. Now it's loose. It's gone viral. It's in the rain. Oh my. And the rain has not stopped falling for weeks. As the country floods and corpses float in the streets, as cities are submerged, the evil dead are rising and they are hungry. You had me at Evil Dead. So I'm in. Okay. Ronald Malfi. I've only read one Malfi so far. Everybody says I have to read Black Mouth, so I'm definitely going to pick that one up. I've heard it's just fantastic, and I've heard it from like probably 10 or 15 different people, like, read Black Mouth, it's so good. We're on a video. But this was the first one that I got excited about with Malfi wanting to read, and it was The Ascent. And when I first looked it up on eBay, I don't know why, but it only came up as like, I could only find ones that were like hundreds of dollars. I don't know why. And then I looked again, and there was one for like $10 or something. So I grabbed it. Maybe I was just searching wrong when I first did it or something. I don't know. But I'm pretty stoked to read this one. And I will definitely have to pick up, the other one, Black Mouth. I believe it's Black Mouth. I think that's the one. That's the name of it. I only read They Lurk. So, but I'm stoked. Really stoked for this one. A couple book hauls back, I had picked up this book, The Brink, an Awaken novel. I didn't realize, and I don't think I showed it in the video, but it's signed by both authors. Maybe I showed it in the video, but I didn't know. And I also didn't know that this is co-written by James Murray, the guy from Impractical Jokers or whatever it is. Murray? That guy? Yeah. This is co-written by him, and this is supposed to be like phenomenal. Like these books are like everybody loves them as far as I could tell. So this is book, I think 2 in that series. Here's book 1. This is the one I just picked up recently, and here's book 3. So I went ahead and went for the whole series because I had to start at the beginning. And this sounds awesome. This sounds right up my alley. The silhouette of the train appeared out of the darkness, rolling down the shallow incline toward the platform. Its silver nose emerged out of the tunnel, and its powerless body drifted to a standstill in front of the assembled crowd. The pavilion echoed with sharp intakes of breath and the shuffling of shoes as people toward the front staggered back. Only a few small shards of glass remained around the edges of the front car's 20 windows. Cafferty's heart raced as he pushed his way forward. Blood smothered the interior, the walls, the ceiling, the seats, the floor, everywhere. A crimson handprint on the opposite side of the car extended into 4-finger lines and stopped at a set of doors. The blood overwhelmed the train with both its dense color and coppery smell, but it was empty of passengers. Somewhere deep down in the tunnels, something's happening. And guess what? This one was signed by both too. Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's... Okay, and then so the last one, that was the first one. I already had the second one. And then this is the last one, Obliteration. I believe this is the finale to the trilogy. This one, unfortunately, wasn't signed. But the other one was. So pretty excited for all of these. And I'm not going to read the back of this one or the second one because I don't want to ruin it anymore. But everything I've read from people is that it's just gory. It's like non-stop action, like non-stop horror. It sounds fantastic. So I'm super stoked for these ones. I almost started reading this one yesterday or day before, but I started the Hell on Mars series. And it's really good so far too. And so I'm super into that, and I'll have to pick this one up after. So one more here. Tim Curran, another one, Alien Horrors. So like I said, I don't know where the Tim Curran kick came from, but I picked up a couple. This looks like a short story collection, I'm pretty sure. Short story collection, I believe. Here's what it says. In the deepest, darkest depths of space, the stars are cold. Malevolent eyes looking across the vast graveyard of the unknown, the unnameable, and the undead. Here the planets are tombs, and the moons haunted catacombs. And here are extraterrestrial nightmares beyond imagining. There is no benevolent first contact, no utopian worlds, only alien horrors. One of them, Flypaper, an expeditionary team is trapped inside an alien machine that offers them anything they want at a terrible price. City of Frozen Shadows. This one, the last living man on Earth, hides in a gutted city haunted by alien exterminators. Another, The Black Ocean. Astronauts adrift in a misty alien ocean are attacked by a gigantic predator. Then Charnel World. Mercenaries track the most lethal life form in the galaxy in the green hell of the planet Xenos. Migration. A mining camp is directly in the path of a migrating alien hive. Stowaway. The crew of a starship is stalked by a shape-shifting alien bloodsucker. So, short story collection. Should be awesome. Sounds great. Like I said, I've been on a short story kick lately, so I'm into that. I'm going to do that. I do have one more box that I forgot about here. So I'm going to show you guys that one. This is a single auction that I won. First off in the box, we have a magazine, it looks like. Yep. Cemetery Dance with Stephen King. I can't see who else is there. Ray Garton, Rick Atala. This is Fall 1992, Volume 4, Issue 4. A Stand by Stephen King right on the front cover inside. Illustrated stand. Ooh, I need that. Richard Chismar. Chattery Teeth by Stephen King. Norman Partridge. Ray Garton. Augustine Funnell. Bentley Little. Adam Corbin Fusco. Charles Grant. Ed Gorman. Joe Lansdale. Thomas Monteleone. Douglas Winter. So anyways, there's a lot in here and some really cool illustrations and stuff. So I don't know if this book's value or this magazine's value, if this has any or what. Well, I'm flopping everywhere. But very cool to add to my Stephen King collection of stuff. So this is the first part of this bundle that came in. So this was an auction. And I went ahead and just kind of watched it and waited on it. There was really one main thing I wanted out of this, one that was pretty valuable, that sells for a lot on eBay. And I got the bundle for less than that book by itself sells on eBay. So it's a pretty darn good deal. But it had this in there, Modern Masters of Horror. I think I have this one already. I have so many short story collections with Stephen King in it. It's not even funny. I don't know if I'm ever going to collect all of them because there's so many out there. This one I think is kind of a not as common one, but it does have Stephen King, John Coyne, George Romero. It does also have Frank Coffey, Robert Bloch, George Romero, Robert McCammon, William Nolan, Richard Lehman, Ramsey Campbell, Graham Masterton. So there's quite a few guys in this one. The Stephen King book or short in this is The Monkey. So that's pretty cool. This is a Stephen King bundle, by the way. It also came with a hardcover of Cujo. And I'm going to guess this is it's a not book club edition. Has the Mylar wrap on it. If one of these is signed, I'm going to pee myself right on camera here. So this is a first edition, 1981. Nice. I do have a hardcover already, but I think mine's a book club, so I will probably swap this one out for mine, and then I will sell off the other one, but very excited for that. And I also got 4 Past Midnight. I'm pretty sure I already have this in hardcover, same deal, non-book club edition. So it's probably exactly the same as mine. Yep, 1991. Nope, sorry, 1990. First edition, yep. So that's good, not book club. Perfect. This one has Langoliers in it. It's probably one of the, famous ones, Secret Window, Secret Garden. I have not read 4 Past Midnight yet, so that I loved the Langoliers movie when I was younger, like the made-for-TV cheesy Langoliers movie. So I also picked up, or that part of that bundle also is different seasons, and I am pretty sure I don't have the hardcover of this one. So, but I did read this one this year, and I really enjoyed it. Pretty much everything about this, every part of this book was good, was enjoyable. The breathing method, the last one, was the least enjoyable of the 4. But I mean, this one has Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption in it, Apt Pupil, and The Body. So Stand By Me, I mean, that's just 3 like top novellas. So the breathing method was the least favorite of the 4, but it was still good. And so this collection right here is fantastic for reading Stephen King. So if you haven't read Stephen King before, this is not very horrific. Apt Pupil is probably the most tense, and then breathing method probably has the most gore, I would say, in it. The body is just fantastic, and Rita Hayworth in The Shawshank Redemption is just fantastic too. So if you have never read King before, this is a pretty good place to start. So then I also got in this bundle, a Firestarter hardcover, not book club edition. Let's see if it's a first. Let's see if it's signed first. Yeah, that'll be great. It is not. I think most people know to not let go of a Stephen King signed book on accident. A limited first edition of this book has been published by Fantasia Press, so this is not first. This is second print. So first edition, second print. 1980, it looks like. And not all, these aren't very, like first editions aren't super valuable of these anyway, because there's so many of them produced. So, but I don't have Firestarter in hardcover, and well, now I do. So adding to my collection, but the one I was so excited for, this last one, and wanted really, is the UK edition of The Stand. And this is the uncut, complete uncut edition. This one is not easy to find. This is fairly rare and goes for a decent amount online. This one is not a first, that's for sure. So it's this one's printed in 1990. The Stand was 1978. So the year I was born. Hey, look at that. So another book that I have not read yet. It is on my list. I mentioned it before. I'm like, it's kind of a weird thing. I don't want it to come to an end. And I know once I read it, I'll have read it and I'll be like, oh, I want to read it again. I know it doesn't make sense. I'm kind of like waiting for it. I don't know why. But I have not read The Stand yet. It is on my list. This is probably everybody's number one Stephen King book, although I absolutely loved it and I absolutely love Pet Sematary. I mean, I know this is going to be up there with it, with those ones. There's a reason this is like top. So I am very excited to read this. I don't know when I'm going to. I've been putting it off for so long, and I just keep putting it off. And I keep I keep feeling like I want to wait for some special moment to read it or something. I don't know, maybe when I get a vacation, I get to sit on the beach for a week and I just sit there and I'll read The Stand all the way through and just be like, that was so good. I don't know. I don't know when I'll read it, but I really, 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 really want to. So, anyways, that's it. That's all of them. That's the haul. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate you. And thanks for hanging out. I'll try to link everything in the comments of different channels that I mentioned or ones that I forgot where I was talking about different videos or things like that. Please follow other people, sub. If you have suggestions for me to check out other YouTubers or booktubers, whatever, that are interested in horror or sci-fi, let me know, because I'm always looking for new stuff. And sometimes it's not that easy to find on YouTube. You search and it always pops up the same old stuff that you've seen 1,000 times. So shoot them at me if you've got some suggestions. I'd love to have them. So really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.